Time now for an update from Fox Carolina News and Fox Carolina Weather. Weather rates certified most accurate.
A good Wednesday afternoon, a beautiful afternoon shaping up out there. We'll check in with meteorologist Bob Trihey in just a moment to see how the rest of your evening is looking, and of course a sneak peek at the weekend as well. Let's head to foxcarolina.com right now, see some of our top stories here at 3:30. And right now, Greenville County Schools working to get elementary school students back in the classroom 5 days a week. They held a news conference this morning with the superintendent there, Burke Royster, to announce this. He says they're going to be using a combination of plexiglass, mask, and specific classroom layouts to ensure safety among those kiddos. He says that plexiglass configuration seems to be a fix to this problem. He says the key to maintaining the safety of this configuration is to use of mask being worn at all times. So the district says students in grades 2nd through 5th will be required to wear a mask during the teaching in the classroom unless they have a medical exemption. So that is something we will be monitoring, but you can read more about that update from Greenville County Schools right there at foxcarolina.com. We got news of that as another school district announces that 40 kids are now in quarantine. This coming out of Spartanburg District 7. They confirm that 3 classes of students have been quarantined and now will be on remote learning until October 21st. The district spokesperson says 44 people, including 43 students and 1 staff member, are in quarantine after they had a positive case there at Drayton Mills Elementary School. We're following that closely as well at this hour. We'll have more at 4 and 5 and tonight at 10 and 11. Speaking of COVID-19, DHEC out with those new numbers this afternoon, and they are reporting 556 new cases with 27 additional deaths confirmed on this Wednesday afternoon. That brings the statewide total to 148,300 cases, and the death toll stands now at 3,300. You can check for the county by county case and death count by clicking on these links inside the story right here. But again, the latest numbers out of DHEC this afternoon. As I mentioned, it is a beautiful afternoon out there. We do want to check in with Bob right now to see how the afternoon is shaping up, and I get an update, of course, on that hurricane that hit Cancun over the last few hours.
Yeah, it did this morning, Cody. It hit Cancun, kind of the Playa de Carmen area. They had wind gusts of 106 miles per hour in Cancun earlier on this morning, but at least it wasn't a destructive hurricane. It could have been a lot worse. And as it moved across the Yucatan, it did diminish a little bit in intensity. Right now, it's a Category 2 hurricane, so technically it's not a major hurricane, but I tell you what, once it starts splashing in the warm water of the Gulf of Mexico, it's going to get fired up once again. So as we go through time, you can see it becomes a major hurricane once again in the central Gulf of Mexico, right around a Category 3 as we go in through Wednesday into the Friday time period. Then it looks like it makes landfall somewhere along the Louisiana coast, maybe around Cameron, Louisiana, as we go into Friday evening, perhaps as a major hurricane, maybe Category 3 or Category 2. In any case, once again, for those folks seeing a lot of wind, a lot of rain and storm surge as well. Then it starts to move to the north and east as we go through time through Mississippi into Tennessee. So you can see that we're right on the edge of that cone of uncertainty as we go into this upcoming weekend, but it's close enough to give us showers and thunderstorms. And as we go through this evening, you can see nothing in the way of cloud cover across the upstate, just beautiful conditions. And then moving into the latter part of Thursday night, especially into Friday, that's when we'll start to see more in the way of clouds increasing and eventually the rain from Delta as we go into the weekend. But for this evening, lower 80s around 5:30 and then falling through the 70s into the 60s. So a beautiful, clear evening across the upstate. And for the mountains, temperatures falling from the 70s into the 60s and upper 50s for the mountains later on tonight. For continuing coverage, make sure you check out the following newscasts for the latest on Hurricane Delta and local news as well. Also, you can find us on the Fox Carolina News app, Facebook.com, and YouTube.com as well. Have a great evening.